This is part 3 of my life story. So like I said, the group home, I was moved out into a group home. All they wanted was my money. So, yeah. They lied to the judge, they lied to the court systems, this, that, and the other, because they couldn't, you know. The judge said I have to have staff supervision 24/7. I could not deal with that. I kept, going different places and trying to hook up with guys still and everything. And, I couldn't deal with it. And then, you know, for, like, when was it? About finally the third time I was arrested. Well, I would still go to see my parents, but at the same time when I saw my parents, I would hook up with different guys still. Met up with this one guy, his name was Brian Thomas. Um, Hooked up with him before I went back to jail for the last time while living in the group home. I get back to that. When I came back, I tried to get something nice for my mom for her birthday, but they kept saying that I couldn't go to work. The group home said it. My boss, he wanted me there whenever I could be there, but like the group home wouldn't let me, so I kept going to work. They called the police. Police came to my job. It happened 3 times. Then the staff at the group home came in, knocked on my door. It was 4 o'clock. I was supposed to be there at 3. She knocked on my door at 4 o'clock. Jeez, are you ready for work? I was furious. I was furious. She was in the car singing to the radio, trying to be a Mary Poppins type. I was so furious that I was trying to get dirt on her. She answered her phone, talking on the phone in the car. I tried to take a picture of her. She tried to grab my phone from me. It's my phone, not hers. I shoved her like that. And grabbed my phone. She said that I hit her and she's calling the police. I told her to check. I told her to tell the police about the dent in the door while she was at it. She's like, there's no dent in the door. Boom. Kicked the door and I said, check again. And then I went to work and the police came again. Then I just got fed up and just went home with no money at all. And there was a court date a couple months later, October, I think it was late September, early October, and I was in jail for 2 weeks because of it. All because I was trying to make a little extra money for my mom for her birthday. So, went back to jail for 2 weeks. Brian, my hookup, he said we were planning something because I couldn't stay there any longer at that group home, not willingly. So I was planning on, like, when I got out, calling him and to come over and you know, but we planned on buying a fire escape ladder and helping me escape, get back to that. So I did. We planned out that while I was like in jail. He visited me, and I got out of jail, and there was one thing, in life that I really wanted to come back home to, and that was my cat. I loved my cat, still do. Um, get back to that. So yeah, you know, got out of jail. They lied on me again because I was supposed to go out my favorite holiday, which is Halloween, and decorate this house like I always do. So they lied on me because I was getting out. They would in. I got out. I got out of the group home, and I was in the group home, and every time I would leave there to go to work or something, they would clean my room and throw stuff away that I bought with my money because it was tacky. So I had to lock my door all the time, and I forgot where the key was, and I was getting a shower, and I left my clothes in my room. So, yeah, I went to get my clothes and I forgot the door was locked. And then I said to the staff who was just sitting there watching TV, not doing anything, not his job, not nothing, just watching TV. I said, "Can you help me open my door? I left my clothes in my room." "No, let me call maintenance. He's right there. All you need is a hanger to get in the door." Let me call maintenance. Maintenance would have come, saw me naked. Anyhow, um, I decided to bust the door in because I didn't want anyone seeing me naked. They lied about it to my parents and everything, and I was, if it was up to them, I'd be stuck. I would be stuck there on Halloween. I wouldn't hear of it. It was my day. So I finally decided to call Brian up, have him bring that fire escape ladder over, and we worked on it. And Halloween came. That was the night that the last night I ever saw of that group, and because I got out of that, I climbed down the fire escape ladder. I had him pack a suitcase for me of my essentials, the things I needed. He had the motor running. It was an apartment, second floor. He had the motor running. He was in the back of the apartment. My room was, the group home was in the front. And climbed down that ladder. Had my TV on. The door was already busted, so I shoved the dresser up against the door. Had turned my TV up loud and just went into the car. We went to. He was homeless, so we went and crashed at his friend's house. To celebrate. We drank a few drinks, even smoked some weed. You know, and after that we just passed out. The next day, the probation officer's calling me and him, and the group home's calling me and him, and my parents are calling me and him, and we're freaking out. We had to go to his friend who had a lot of money and switch cars out and everything because they knew what he drove, and grabbed his friend's car and got his friend's money, and he sent me off to New York, where I was supposed to be with this person who was supposed to be my fiance. His name was Martin Solis. Back in 2013, this was, by the way, I'm at 2014 right now, but 2013 I met this guy named Martin Solis, and, you know, he was my everything, and he lived in New York, so I decided to go to his house, you know, so they sent me to New York. Brian sent me to New York to go to him, and I went to New York and met with him, and he said he couldn't have me over because he lives with his landlord, which was a total lie. He said I could sleep in the subway and meet up with him the next day for lunch. So I did. The whole time at lunch, he's sitting there looking at his phone. Probably got something going on down there, um, because he's staring at pictures of this guy he's planning on hooking up with, and he's rushing me. I didn't know at the time. I didn't have a phone because I told him to throw mine away. He did, and in case they were tracking me. So he sent me. He was rushing, saying it was 6 o'clock. It turned out to be 2 o'clock. I asked someone what time it was after he dropped me off. After he tried to drop me off at a shelter, which wasn't happening because there was police everywhere and they wanted your social security and everything. I wasn't going to get my ID out because I was a runaway. And so I wound up sleeping in the subway. And I saw him running. That was the last I ever saw of him because he went to his hookup. And so yeah, spent 10 nights in the subway, living in the subway. Met this guy who had 10 different personalities and everything. Stayed with him for a week. Things went sour with him because he went crazy on me. And then